Morning everyone. Tis a Monday, 7:30 on the news. Just on my way to go and get Dan. Cut up by people on the roundabout. Can't see cars coming at them.
GPS connected.
Thanks, love. 8 degrees. We've had rain and wind all night long. The storm has been battering. It's been a bit of a strange one in the new house. Weekend has been spent basically removing everything from the lounge that we put in it, painting, decorating as many rooms and houses, as many rooms, hallways, walls as we could. We're having a big new sofa delivered today, so it felt like we're moving in again. It was really weird. One room's got boxes and stuff in it, the other room's completely empty. Yeah, it's gone back to the days or weeks before, after moving in kind of situation. It's quite weird. Sun's not up yet, it's still making its way past the hill. Weird one today. We've got an A6 coming in first thing. We've got sub and amp to check out on it. He has just bought the car and it's got a LC2i and some kind of amp, some kind of sub combination in the back of it, but it's not working properly, and he said there's loads of lights flashing on the amp. Doesn't know what the problem is, so we've got to basically have a look. So it could be interesting, could be like a bit of a rescue mission, because we don't know the, don't know the extent of this wiring. It could be as bad as they come. We did have a Mini in, but the guys cancelled. Was pestering me for reverse camera information. Eventually got him all the stuff. Booked it in and then cancelled. But gonna go get Dan, get some brekkie, and I will come back to you when we've got in the shop. And hopefully we'll have a nice busy day today. See you soon. Southampton this weekend. I'm excited for that. See you in a bit. Morning everyone. Well, it's silly season and they're out and about today. So a guy that booked himself in at the weekend in the Audi has stitched. I phoned him, he's not coming in. He forgot about his appointment, even though it was Saturday. It's 2 days later, but whatever. So me and Dan are playing with a box. So we've been talking about tuning, port length, things like that. We have an old subwoofer, we have wood. We're going to make a box for a 10, no, for an 8, that's going to have an unfeasibly large port to see if we can get an 8 producing lower bass notes. So we're going to do a bit of time lapse. We're going to knock up a bit of wood. He wants to learn how to build a box anyway, so we're going to get some router stuff going, some time lapse, stream it all together, and then we're going to come back with a test on whether this thing is dropping like a low sub would, as in like my kicker box I built for my my 10, with a port that goes up and across and along the back. That's my spare wheel box I built. But we're going to play with this now. Let him cut his fingers off on the router table, and hopefully come up with a box in a bit. Yeah. See you in a bit. Right then, Dan, we need stuff off the saw. Let's bring the saw over. We're going to do our, my fibre optic tree has arrived for our Christmas rally. We're doing a, yeah, we're going to do a charity run for cancer. We've got some lights to go over the Lotus, and we've got a Christmas tree now to go on the back, and we're going to do a Christmas run up to C&M, raise a bit of money for the prospect, innit?
UK, yes.
Prospect Hospice UK.
In Wharton.
Based in Wroughton, there you go. Your mum went there, didn't she, Dan?
She did. She spent about, I think she spent about 9 months, the last 9 months of her life there.
Yeah.
We've done quite a bit of fundraising for them. My dad mostly. My cousin Anna is currently doing a sponsored walk in Iceland, I believe
Wow,
it is.
there you go.
I will have to double check that. She's doing a sponsored walk. It's not directly in aid of the sponsored walk or going towards it, but we are going to talk to Prospect and try and bundle it in with it.
So a bit of charity work this week.
Bit of charity work. Should be
Up to
fun.
Christmas, we'll get some collection buckets going. I know C&M will be up for it. They always are.
If you've got anything cool that you can strap a Christmas tree or some lights to,
Yeah, join.
bring it along!
We're gonna figure out what day we're gonna go, but everyone's gonna meet here, and then we'll head up to C&M with cars, lights, Christmas trees on the roof. Right, let's get
Christmas
this.
lights.
Yeah, let's get this over here. So we're gonna cut down some wood right now. Get the wood sized for the sides, and we'll make the port lengths as well, and then we'll glue it all together, make the baffle.
This stuff?
Yeah, bring it over. See you in a bit. Right then, so we've made our cuts. We're good? Made our cuts with our saw. So we got. So we're going to do 2 sides. Right, I'm going to do 2 sides, 2 sides, 2 top and bottom. That'll be our box. Sub's going to be at one end. We will have.
I just had a thought.
Go on.
Cut a piece of these ones off.
Yeah.
get them.
Yeah. Or you can go inside, whichever. But yeah, we'll stick with on top because all this is the same size. So we got inside, outside, and then we'll sub, first chamber, and then we'll do long snaky port, and then we'll cut out a hole at the bottom here as well for the port to exit, and then give it a testicle. See what happens. Right, let's get these glued and stuck on. So more time lapse. So take one off, and get your glue on. Okay everyone, so we've cut our sides, we've routed out our hole, so we are now gonna, we've done a rough cut. Don't think that this box is going to achieve SPL standards, it's not. This is purely a test for Dan to learn. And we're using some damaged wood in the process, so we're saving some old stuff. So obviously we've cut our cut length down to this exact edge.
Yep.
And then we've minused our exact length by putting sides on it.
Yep.
So now we need to measure this,
Measure the thickness of each one.
double that, cut that away from here, and we're going to use this side as the port. So actually, we're going to go a bit further because then we're going to allow for where our port's going to sit. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So sub's going to be one half, then the box, and then it will be port, 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 port.
So we're just going to do like an open port like you've got on there, not with like
a
cone on it.
No, what they call a slot port. So we're not going to go round on this.
Okay.
So now we're going to measure this twice, take that off on the saw, and then we'll start laying out where our port's going to sit.
Cheers.
See you in a bit. Right, so we've got our port walls kind of cut. Ready? We've got a box design. Our sub is going to go roughly this end. Hi, welcome back. And then we're going to calculate our airspace here, go round, port wall, port wall, port wall, port. Going to make it extremely long so it has a long way to travel, and see if we can directly affect the tuning of the box or a real crap subwoofer to be super low and lots of lovely juicy bass. So we're going to work out this, which is width times length times depth times by 1728. That will give us our box volume here, and then obviously we'll work out the tune port length and see what we can get it down to. So we'll cut some more wood, figure out what we're going to do with size, and come back to you in a minute. See you soon. Right then everyone, so we've got our 6 bits of wood, which are going to equate as our port walls, like this, which means we can have that long a system. So a sub's going to be in one bit, and then it's going to feed in, feed in, feed in, feed in, and then it's going to exit through that wall there. But what we need to do is round off all of these, because square edges
Don't flow
the wood. So now we're going to change the router bit for the round over edge, and we're going to make all of these rounded so that the air can pass in amongst them problem free. See you in a bit. So there we go. It's not the prettiest thing, but it was an exercise in Dan being able to play with a box, because he wanted to do that for a long time.
And not a couple of fingers off of the router or a saw.
Yeah, you got to play with the two most dangerous bits of equipment in here, which is the router and this table saw. And we've created
The digits. Look, I've still got them all. Look.
all 7 from Swindon. all 12.
They're all wet.
But yeah, so we got our factory sub in our box. This is calculated to be roughly a foot of airspace in the box. That's kind of on the limit of an 8. And then our port length. Gosh, what was our port length, Dan? Where's the tape? Grab that.
So
What was that across there?
So
It's going to be...
that's 50 centimeters there.
Okay, so it's
Roughly.
1, 2, 3. So yeah, so a port is pretty much 1.5 meters, which is a long old port. But it to be fair, it drops quite well. Like, we can get the roof rattling from an 8 that's a factory spec 8. It's not even like a decent aftermarket 8. We can get the excursion on the cone about 1 inch, and then it starts to sound a bit funky.
A bit.
But it's just a fun project, just so we could have a play with the box, and we had time to do it. So that's it today. Evening, everyone. We're just getting ready to lock up for today. So bit of an odd one. Obviously had a job cancel, customer stitched. Really annoying, really frustrating. But we got, and the battery goes dead. Yeah, really frustrating when customers don't show up, especially when they've been in 2 days previous asking for an appointment. So annoying. But anyway, it means I had a chance to play around with Dan with regards to a sub build. He wanted to learn how to build a box, so it's not any kind of standard, shall we say, but it was more the case of building a 8-inch sub box with a port that goes very long and generates out to a slot kind of port inside, just so we could have an idea of what a 8-inch sub, go on, you're all right, mate, would do in a rather large box. We can finish this off if we want to. We probably will end up doing that. Stick it on the router again, clean up all the edges. You know, if he wants to carpet it, maybe I'll let him carpet it as a practice to figuring out how we carpet boxes. That might be another thing we do. But it was good to let him play it and see what happens and how it affected the sound. And his little face, bless him, when we've been playing some drum and bass this afternoon, he's loved it. But that's it. Hey?
Yes, I have.
Yes, he has, yeah. But that's it for today. So we're back in working tomorrow. We've got some more bits and bobs lined up, and those customers I'm sure will be coming in. So for now, people, and Dan,
Adios.
see you later, you bass head.
Bye.